Also have to manage above ground, above the soil level. So all of this growth you see up top, some plants need a little bit more management than others.
So we are managing the soil's temperature and trying to keep it at an optimal level.
Hey everybody, Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden. Today we're going to show you how we're caring for our cuttings over this winter.
Yeah, but before we get into all that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on every garden care video.
So guys, you can see we're in our greenhouse, and so we wanted today to go over with you how we're actually managing our cuttings, how we're caring for them over these winter months. And so what you want to think about is you want to think about, are they getting enough water or too much water? You know, the right amount of water is always important. You want to make sure they're being kept at the proper temperature so they're continuing to grow and stay healthy, and you want to manage their growth. You want to manage how much they're growing up top, give them the optimal conditions to grow down below too. So we're going to talk to you about all those things today. So the first thing we want to tell you about today is watering. So watering is important, right? We all know this. Watering plants is very important. They need water. So some plants need a little bit more water or less water than others. And some examples of that we have out here. We have our herb plants like rosemary, and we have some lavender, and we even have some salvia. They like water, of course, but they don't need a lot of water. They don't need an excessive amount of water. They like things a little bit on the drier side, especially after they've developed their roots. All these out here have roots. We know that because they're still alive, and they're actually starting to grow here and there. And so we don't want to overwater them because all of them are pretty much prone to rot if they're watered too much. So we have to monitor that and keep them a little bit more on the drier side than the wet side. So in contrast to that, we have geranium cuttings out here. And so we know these cuttings have actually rooted. They're doing really well. So geraniums in general like things a little bit more on the drier side than, say, your rosemary or your salvia or lavender. So we're not watering those as much as we're watering the rosemary and lavender. So, because they are prone to rot too. So there's a little bit of different level of watering right there in their moisture needs. And then we also have out here, we have our petunias. Now these are looking a little peaked, so sorry to show you that. Here's a really good one over here. And so this is looking pretty healthy for a cutting. It's rooted, it's starting to grow a little bit here. It actually has a bud on the end of it. That's pretty cool. And so this plant right here needs regular watering, and this is more watering than, say, a lavender or a rosemary needs. So that, again, there's a third level of watering needs. So you have to manage all these in a greenhouse for cuttings, especially over winter. You don't want them too wet, you don't want them too dry. And so that's what we're doing out here for the watering.
Okay, so Sean just talked to you about water and how we're managing water. I want to talk to you about managing the temperature, because that is so important for optimal root growth. So some of you may have seen a previous video we made where we were talking to you about how we're caring for these cuttings during the winter as far as temperature. So as you can see, what we found online was this great heat mat that is 6 foot long. So it covers this entire bench length, and to be honest, we probably need a second one already. But how this works is this heat mat actually connects to this thermometer, which is connected to this probe that goes right into the soil over here. This is really cool. So we can actually just completely track the soil temp out here and monitor as needed. And what that means is we don't want these cuttings to get exposed to any kind of freezing temperatures. So because we took so many cuttings this past summer and fall, and we knew winter was going to be an issue, so we are managing the soil's temperature and trying to keep it at an optimal level by keeping it on the heating mat so the roots can grow and thrive, because that's the most important goal with these cuttings. And 72 degrees Fahrenheit would be our optimum goal, but we're maybe a little under that. The good news is the cuttings are not being exposed to any freezing temperatures or frost, so that's good.
Guys, we already talked about managing the water. We talked about managing the temperature. Now we're going to talk about managing these cuttings' growth. Now, we want them to root. That's our overall goal out here. Allison just mentioned that. And so we're doing that. We're making sure that they've got the optimum chance under the facilities we have to get them to root the best they can. But we also have to manage above ground, above the soil level. So all of this growth you see up top, some plants need a little bit more management than others, especially like this lavender, especially like this salvia. So what we're going to do is you can see some of these are top heavy, they're growing a little goofy. We're going to manage these plants' growth by taking away some of that excessive growth to kind of rebalance the plant, make sure that it's not growing in goofy situations or shapes. So like this guy right here. This is a lavender plant. Looks beautiful, right? It's not doing too bad. It looks like it's pretty healthy. It's got some nice new soft growth right here. It's growing off to the side. It's growing a little weird there. So what we want to do is manage that and make sure that we're kind of shaping it, giving it its direction to grow where we want it to grow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, and you can see that on this stem, you can see right here we have all that new growth, and it would be great to just keep all that, but right now we can't. We need to remove this growth so the plant grows in a better way, in a better shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this guy right here. I'm going to keep that stem that's starting to grow there, and I'm going to cut this guy back right there. And so now what we've done is we've removed this, set that off to the side. Now the plant is what it's going to do. It's going to redistribute all of its nutrients and water into these remaining pieces on the plant, these remaining stems and leaves. And that's what we want it to do. We don't want it to keep growing out in this weird direction, this stretching direction. We want it to grow here and grow up, get bigger, stronger. And so we're going to continue this and go stem by stem. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I'm going to cut it right there. There we go. Finish it off here with that one. And now, yeah, we just removed a lot of the new growth that this plant has produced over the last couple months, but the plant will be okay. We're telling the plant that we want it to grow in a specific direction, not just loosey-goosey anywhere it wants to grow. This is part of our job, is to manage these plants and its growth, and so we're doing that right here, right now. So from what I just showed you, I'm going to continue to do that with the rest of these cuttings. We're going to just manage their growth, kind of bring them in so they're not so stretchy, so they're not so just everywhere, and they're going to look a lot better. They're going to grow a lot better, and we'll be really happy with how they develop over the next couple months too. So here I go.
And another bonus from pruning your brand new cuttings, they smell so amazing. We get to bring these inside now and enjoy them.
Oh wow, they do smell
I know.
really good. Jeez.
Just English lavender and salvia.
So if you want to know more about the heating pad or the micro snips we used in this video, the links will be down below, so check out those. Leave your comments and questions down below for us. We love hearing from you. Give us that thumbs up, let us know we're doing a good job, and subscribe to our channel so you get updates on our latest videos.
And that's a wrap for today. We'll be back tomorrow with our Monday short, which we air every Monday. So look for that in the short section of YouTube. And have a great day, you guys.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.